Dear students, this is Kandahar Arifur Rahman, Associate Professor, Department of English, Government Begum Rokeya College. I welcome you heartily to my class. Today, we will discuss about the rules of voice change. Today's topic is voice change from active to passive. Dear learners, just see in active voice, the structure will be, you will get a subject at first, then there may be an auxiliary verb according to the tense. Next you will get main verb, then object, and then there may be extension, extra words. And if we make it into passive, turn it into passive, first of all we will have to exchange the places of, substitute the places of subject and object. Just notice NP1 and NP2, that means subject and object have interchanged their position. Then if there is an auxiliary verb in the active voice, you will have to use an auxiliary verb of the same group in the same place. In passive, we will have to use an additional be verb, and be verb will be used according to the necessity of the auxiliary verb just placed before it. And if there is no auxiliary verb, then be verb will match itself with the subject. Dear learners, see that in every passive you will have to make the past participle form of the main verb. The past participle form of the main verb, it is a must. Then we usually use by or any other suitable preposition may be used here according to the necessity of the verb. Then the subject will come after the preposition in objective form. Then if there is extension, we may use it here. And if you want, you may use the extension just before the preposition. Here you may use the extension. While changing any active voice into its passive form, you will have to notice some factors that will help you understand the topic very easily. Just if you follow the one structure, the only structure mentioned here, you will be able to change any sentence from active to passive. Just notice you will have to interchange the position of subject and object. Just interchange the position of subject and object. Then just see all other words will remain in the same place. That means if there is auxiliary verb, it will remain here. If there is extension, it will remain here. These all other words will remain in the same position. Then you will have to make the past participle from the main verb. The past participle form of the main verb. Next, you will have to put the be verb in front of the main verb. The additional be verb, it will take place, it will take its position before the main verb. Just these are the important points. Next, you see there are 8 forms of be verb: am, is, are, was, were, be, been, being. And you will have to use any one of the forms of the be verb as you require according to the necessity of the subject or the auxiliary verb in the passive form. Then you may find difficulty in choosing the proper form of the be verb, and if you follow the following instructions, then it will be easier for you to use the be verb very easily. Just see here, if there is no auxiliary verb in the active voice, the additional be in the passive form will be changed into am, is, are. If the tense is a present tense, then you will have to use either am, is, or are. And in the past form, you will have to use either was or were. Just follow the example here. I draw a picture. I draw a picture. There is no auxiliary verb here. So you will get no auxiliary verb in the passive form as well. Here you notice that we have interchanged the position of subject and object. A picture. A picture has come first, and me, by me, has come in the position of the object. Then we have already said that we will have to use a be verb before the main verb, the past participle form of the main verb, and we will have to use a be verb here. As the tense is a present tense, draw, present indefinite tense, so we are here to use is. A picture is drawn by me. In another example, she saw a bird in the garden. There is no auxiliary verb also in this sentence. So, in this case, we will have to use was or were, as the tense is a past tense, past indefinite tense. So, the be verb will be changed into was or were. A bird was seen by her in the garden, and the additional portion, that means the extension, may be used just after the past participle form of the verb. You may also use the additional part here. A bird was seen in the garden by her. Next we see, if you find am, is, are, was, were as auxiliary verb in the active voice, if there is a be verb as auxiliary verb, that means if the tense is a continuous one, continuous tense, either present continuous or past continuous, you will get am, is, are in the tense as auxiliary verb. In that case, your additional be verb will be turned into being. The auxiliary verb will remain in the same place, and am means am, is, are, as the subject demands. It will be changed according to the demand of the subject. I am a letter is, and the additional be verb will be changed into being. A letter is being typed by me. Another example, he was driving a car. A car was being, this additional being, driven by him. In third case, if you find have or has or had as auxiliary verb in the active voice, then the be in the passive form will be changed into been. You will have to make the past participle form of the additional be. Just notice the example. They have finished the work in time. This is subject, auxiliary verb have, past participle form of the main verb, object, and the extension in time. Now we see the work. This is the given auxiliary verb according to the tense. This is a perfect tense, present perfect tense. So we will get have or has as auxiliary verb. Then the be has been changed into been. Then the past participle from the main verb, finished, then preposition, then they, them from they, then extension. The work has been finished by them in time. Another example is here, Rina has lost a pen. A pen has been lost by Rina. So there was have or has as auxiliary verb, and the be has been changed into been. In passive, the be has been changed into been. Next, if we find modal can, could, may, might, should, would, must, shall, will, be, going to, ought to. That means any other auxiliary verb rather than be verb and have verb. Then we will have to use the be verb as be. Be will be used as be. We will have to use the base form of be. Just notice the example. We should remove poverty from our country. Here we have got a modal auxiliary should. In the passive form, be has been used as be. Poverty should be removed by us from our country, or poverty should be removed from our country by us. Just notice another example. I am going to join a debating club. Be going to. This is an auxiliary verb, and the be has been used as be. A debating club is going to then be joined by me. A debating club is going to be joined by me. Just look at another example. We ought to stop corruption. Ought to. Modal auxiliary. Corruption ought to be. Corruption ought to be stopped by us. Just these are the rules of changing the be verb according to its necessity, and the proper form of be will depend on the auxiliary verb placed before it. And if there is no auxiliary verb, the be verb will match with the subject. This is in short the rules of changing voice from active to passive. And for your detailed studies, the rules have been given here. You may go through them, and then you will have a clear-cut idea about voice according to tense. Just there are the rules, detailed rules, and you will be able to have a clear-cut idea about voice. So this is all for today. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.